Broome Annual Electors Meeting for 2024-2025. I declare the meeting open at 4 p.m. Do we have the recordings? Okay, thank you very much. I'll remind members in the gallery that to turn their mobile phones and any other items that can record to turn them off, as there's no recording of information from the floor. I'll also remind members that any adverse conduct or defamatory remarks will be dismissed pretty quickly. So, okay. Anyway, actually, I just went through that. We've got apologies from Councillor Mahmood, Councillor Smith, and Councillor Taylor's online, I think. Councillor Taylor, are you online? Okay. You on mute, Councillor Taylor? Oh. He'll probably come on. But anyway, I'll now take a moment to run through this evening's proceedings. A general meeting of electors is to be held once every financial year. The purpose of the meeting is to receive the previous year's annual report and then consider any other general business raised by electors. The procedures for a general meeting of electors are set out in the Local Government Act 1995 and the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996. Defamation laws apply to comments made at council meetings. As per Council Meetings Procedure Local Law 2020, any motion that is offensive or defamatory in nature will not be accepted. In regard to the order of business for the meeting, we will first consider the 2024-25 Shire President's Report, followed by the 24-25 Annual Report. I will then allow electors to move motions received in advance, following which electors will have the opportunity to move motions from the floor. Once all motions have been dealt with, and should time permit, we will deal with questions received in advance. Due to time limitations, there will not be an opportunity for questions from the floor. However, please be aware that public questions can be asked at any ordinary meeting of council throughout the year. Elector motions will need to be moved and seconded. The elector proposing the motion will need to state their full name, followed by their motion. The elector seconding the motion will need to state their full name. Please note that this information will be reviewed, and should the question be moved or seconded by a person that is later found not to be an elector, the motion will lapse. Once a motion is seconded and it becomes a live motion, I will provide the mover with an opportunity to speak to their motion. As a courtesy to others, please endeavour to limit this to 2 minutes. The motion will then be put to the electors present for a vote. Councillors, as elected, can vote on any elector motions should they wish to do so. There is no debate on elector motions. Voting provisions are as follows. Each elector at the meeting is entitled to 1 vote on each matter to be decided, but does not have to vote. All decisions are to be made by a simple majority vote, and voting is to be conducted by a show of hands, ensuring that no voter's vote is secret. All motions passed with it will be subject of an agenda item for council consideration at the March ordinary meeting of council. Okay, point 3, Shire President's Report. The Shire President's Report has been included in the Shire's annual report. I'll read it aloud for the benefit of the public in attendance. And Shire President in 2024-25 was myself, Shire President Chris Mitchell. My report is as follows. The Shire continued to navigate external pressures throughout 2024-25, including the ongoing impacts of inflation, rising interest rates and supply chain constraints, while remaining committed to making Broome an even better place to live, work and visit. Despite these challenges, we are proud of the significant progress made across major initiatives during the past year and look forward to building on the momentum in the years ahead. Our success in securing state and federal funding, alongside strong industry support, has been central to this progress. These grants have enabled us to deliver critical projects without placing an additional burden on ratepayers. A prime example is the Womerton Cable Beach foreshore redevelopment, with the completed Stage 1 works largely funded through grants, reserves and borrowings. In January 2025, the project received a further boost with the announcement of a $9 million state grant for Stage 2, enabling works to commence in June 2025. This funding recognised the project as one of the nation's leading shovel-ready initiatives and reflects the Shire's extensive community consultation and the commitment to the town site. We are proud of the notable progress of ongoing major initiatives during the past year and are excited to continue the momentum into the next financial year. We were also proud to invest in a range of community-focused activities and events that celebrate what makes Broome such a vibrant and inclusive place. Our much-loved program of family-friendly activities continues to draw strong support, with highlights including Youth Week Skate, the Town Beach Christmas Party, the Chinatown Easter Trail, and the Reconciliation Week markets, each creating opportunities for families to come together, connect, and enjoy Broome's unique community spirit. This year has seen significant progress on projects that will shape Broome's future. The McMahon Estate Local Structure Plan has been finalised and submitted to the West Australian Planning Commission following extensive community consultation, ensuring it reflects the needs and aspirations of our town. Meanwhile, the Sanctuary Village Holiday Park and Key Worker Accommodation project is moving forward, with $7.8 million secured funding, paving the way for more than 90 key worker homes and over 300 tourist sites. The Shire is also proactively advocating for additional funding to advance the Sanctuary Road precinct, which is essential to supporting these developments and improving connectivity for our growing community. Together, these initiatives highlight the Shire's commitment to delivering housing, infrastructure, and opportunities that strengthen both our community and local economy. The Shire continued to champion Broome's vibrant arts, culture, and creative sectors throughout the year. We progressed actions from the Arts and Culture Strategy and Action Plan 2023 to 2028, including supporting community groups to deliver 2 successful arts industry nights. In addition, more than $150,000 in community development fund grants were distributed to local organisations and events. Together, these initiatives reflect our strong and ongoing commitment to enriching Broome's cultural life and strengthening the social fabric of our community. This year, we've also celebrated formally adopting the Cable Beach Precinct Structure Plan and the Chinatown Old Broome Precinct Structure Plan, marking a significant step in shaping the future of these key areas. The adoption of these plans followed extensive community consultation and detailed planning to ensure a balanced approach to growth, development, and heritage preservation. The plans will now be submitted to the West Australian Planning Commission for final approval. This annual report provides further detail on the achievements of the past 12 months. I thank the community, council, staff, and our many partners for their continued support and collaboration, which ensures Broome is well placed to thrive into the future. Thank you. Would an elector present please move the recommendation to receive the Shire's President's report, and the recommendation is that the Shire President's 2024-25 report be received. Do we have someone moving the report, please? Thanks, Leslie. Do we have a seconder to that? That's Liz. Yeah. Thanks, Liz. Okay, you got those two? Oh, sorry. Leslie Morris and Liz Cochrane. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. All those electors in favour, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Okay, we move on to item 4, which is the annual report. All good? Yeah. Okay. The annual report for the financial year 2024-25 was accepted by Council at the ordinary meeting of Council held December 2025. The report is available on the Shire's website. Would an elector present move the recommendation to receive the annual report? Do we have someone happy to move? I can see a hand. Kathleen Simpson. Thank you, Kathleen. Do we have a seconder? On the left. Sue Smith. Thanks, Sue. And all those electors in favour, please raise your hand. I've got a few more this time. Thank you. The motion is carried. We move on to item 5, general business. General business will be conducted in line with Council's Meeting Procedures Local Law 2020, where the Meeting Procedures Local Law makes no provision the procedures shall be otherwise determined by the presiding member. There will be no adverse reflection from any elector at the meeting, and any elector addressing the meeting shall extend due courtesy and respect to elected members, Shire employees and their fellow members of the community, and must comply with directions from myself as the presiding member. Defamation laws apply to comments made at council meetings. As per Council Meetings Procedure Local Law 2020, any motion that is offensive or defamatory in nature will not be accepted. Prior to the meeting, several electors have advised the Shire of their intention to raise elector motions. Considering the annual electors meeting presents the only opportunity for electors to put forward a motion, we will be asking for elector motions prior to responding to questions received in advance of the meeting. There will not be an opportunity for questions from the floor. However, again, these are welcome at any ordinary council meeting. Questions taken on notice will be responded to administratively and included in the agenda for the February council meeting, or if that is not practical, the following council meeting. Electors who have submitted motions prior to the meeting will be asked to approach the microphone first. I will then allow electors to move motions from the floor. The elector proposing the motion will need to state their full name followed by their motion. Elector motions will need to be seconded before being put to a vote. The elector seconding the motion will need to state their full name. Once we have a live motion, I will provide the mover with an opportunity to speak to their motion. As a courtesy to others, please endeavour to limit this to 2 minutes. The motion will be then put to the electors present for a vote. There is no debate on elector motions. Please ensure that you speak into the microphone so that everyone can hear clearly. Prior to the meeting, Kylie Brokenshaw has submitted 3 elector motions. Kylie, would you like to come forward and move your first motion?
Kylie Brockenshire. My motion 1 is that the Shire undertake work to elevate the Broome Lotteries House car park to reduce the impact of flooding.
Thanks, Kylie. Do you want to ask anything on that? No. Do we have a seconder to that motion? Down the back, sorry. Your name? Vinka. Oh, Vinka. Thank you, Vinka. Do you wish to make comments on your motion, bearing in mind you've got 2 minutes?
Oh, there's not much more to say, but there's, the car park floods, and we have people from babies in prams to elderly coming through. And for the last 6 years, this is the first time, was probably 2 weeks ago, that someone had actually come and sucked up the drain. But I think because of the skate park now, that's quite high, that it's all puddling in our car park. It was puddling a little bit before with the St John, but now I think it's more because of the skate park.
Okay, thanks, Kylie. I'll put that one to the vote. All those present are in favour, or show of hands if you're in favour of the motion. Okay, those against, motion's carried, thank you. Your second motion, Kylie, thanks.
My second motion is that the Shire of Broome and Council prioritise and include funding in the 26-27 budget for required works to the external toilets at the BRAC.
Okay, thank you, Kylie. Do we have a seconder for that motion? Liz Cochrane, thank you. You wish to comment on that one, Kylie?
Yeah, sure. There's a single entry for the male and female toilets at the back of BRAC there, and through to netball, WA safeguarding, child safeguarding, it should actually be 2 entries. And yeah, they could do with a little bit of a spruce up as well.
Okay, thanks, Kylie. I'll put that one to the vote. All those in favour? All those against? That one's carried unanimously as well. And your third motion, thanks, Kylie.
My third motion is that the Shire of Broome and Council engage with local not-for-profit organisations to explore options to address the absence of bar revenue opportunities.
Okay, and do we have a seconder for that motion?
The Shire of Broome and Council engage with local not-for-profit organisations to explore options to address the absence of bar revenue opportunities.
Okay, Vinca. Okay, thank you, Vinca. Get that one. All those in favour? Oh, did you want to speak to that?
Yep.
Okay.
So in the past, the Civic Centre has allowed not-for-profits to run their own bar. Obviously, the revenue from bar sales at a fundraising gets you quite a bit. And now that they've got their own licence, they run the bar. The Civic Centre runs the bar, so unfortunately there's no room for any revenue from the not-for-profits that are hiring the centre. I know there's grants available and things like that, but you have to acquit grant. You don't have to acquit revenue that can go into last-minute things that you need as a not-for-profit when you're fundraising.
Okay, thanks, Kylie. Those in favour of the motion? Hands. Those against? That carried. Thank you. Thanks, Kylie. Next, Oliver Kaluri submitted 2 elected motions. Oliver, would you like to come forward and move your first motion?
Sorry, I didn't bring a printout layout, but I remember what I put down as a motion.
We can put it on the screen for you.
That the Shire of Broome acknowledge to the loss of income experienced by food trucks operator during the previous trading year and investigate appropriate support measurements, including license-free reduction or other financial relief.
Thanks, Oliver. I believe the CEO has a... You should make a comment.
Look, through the chair, I think, Mr. President, Oliver's actually submitted 3 questions as well, which sort of relate to your 2 motions that have been submitted prior to the meeting. So, noting that he's the last 2 motions that were submitted, if you wouldn't mind, I'm happy to run through the response to those 3 questions, which might actually provide a bit of insight and assist with your motion.
Yeah.
You don't quite have the copy of your questions, but I'm happy to read them out if you like, Oliver. Yeah. Your first question was, what is the future for food truck businesses? The response is that the Shire has over many years demonstrated its recognition of the valuable contributions that mobile food traders make to the vibrancy and activation of precincts across Broome. In 2018, following a community consultation process, the Shire revised its trading policy by introducing designated trading nodes. At the time, there were a number of objections and concerns raised in regard to the impact this may have on permanent businesses. Council has therefore given due regard to balancing opportunities for mobile food traders while also protecting established brick and mortar businesses. While the locations of designated trading nodes have evolved over time, the intent remains to streamline opportunities for mobile traders and to strategically encourage activation of key precincts and reserves without adversely impacting permanent businesses. In addition to improvements to the policy, the Broome Stallholders Association offers opportunities for trading at the courthouse markets, the Thursday night markets, and of course the staircase markets. The Shire's Parks and Gardens team have also been working on establishment of a grassed area at the Town Beach area, the old cafe site. This area will be considered for expanded trading through an upcoming policy review. The second question was in regards to, will the old Croc Park at Cable Beach reopen? And if not, will a new public area be proposed for food truck owners? Response to this one, as you may be aware, the trading node in Cable Beach at the old Croc Park site has been closed due to construction works in the precinct and currently remains closed. As I mentioned, a policy review is imminent and all nodes will be reviewed. In the interim, please be aware that there remain a number of opportunities for mobile food traders to operate, and the Shire would encourage these areas to be utilised. Other nodes include the Brack Skate Park, Medland Pavilion, Brack Outdoor Basketball Courts, the Surf Club, Demco Beach, Entrance Point, Haynes Oval, the Turf Club, and the Town Beach Market area, and also the foreshore. And again, we would encourage you to please reach out to officers to further discuss these opportunities. The third one relates to this motion, and your question was, will any form of financial relief or compensation be made available to food truck operators who suffered a loss of business during the previous year? Bear with me. As established in the local law, the trading policy and each licence issued to traders, a trader's licence is not a lease over the land, and the trader and patrons do not have exclusive occupancy or possession of that area. Traders are mobile operators, and the local law, policy and permits all outline that the licence conditions, which include the locations for traders to operate, can be varied from time to time. As answered previously, the ceasing of trade on the verge in front of the old Croc Park was required to facilitate the Cable Beach foreshore redevelopment. No form of compensation is intended to be offered to traders. Furthermore, the location and number of nodes are set at the discretion of Council and have been established in a proactive manner to encourage activation of precincts and reserves strategically deemed appropriate for activation and community benefit. As per my previous response, there are many other opportunities for traders. At this time, the Shire remains committed to minimising the impact on the established businesses within that Cable Beach area during the construction phase of the redevelopment project. Hopefully that just provides a bit of background there and context to some of the decisions that have been made to close that area at the Croc Park. Thank you.
Okay, so I've got to get a seconder anyway. Yeah. And do we have a seconder to that motion?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Florian Johnny.
Sorry?
My name is Florian Johnny.
Florian Johnny.
Florian. And
John. Yep. Okay. Thank you. We've got that there. Okay. So, all right. So your motion's been moved and seconded. Did you want to make a short comment, or as the CEO has explained? But the motion will go to the vote.
Well, the main reason of the motion is being because we are aware that we have a list of other spots that we can trade, but the only high traffic area that we had that was sustainable during the wet season as well for us local was the Croc Park, because we had that traffic of Cable Beach. Well, any other trade is not sustainable for us. That's why it was the question for another trading area.
Okay. All right. All those in favour of the motion? Yep. Anyone against? No, that's carried anyway. So that's your first motion. Did you want to read your second motion?
That the Shire of Broome investigate option to reopen the Croc Park, as a food truck trading location or identified a trial for alternative high traffic public trading area to support local food operators.
And a seconder to the motion? Florian, thank you. Okay. Did you want to make a comment on that? Or you probably...
No, good.
Yeah, okay. All those in favour of that motion? Hands? Anyone against? Okay, that's carried. Thank you, Oliver. Are there any electors wishing to move a motion from the floor? If not, okay. As there are no further elector motions, I will now move on to public questions received in advance. A reminder that questions can be asked at any ordinary council meeting throughout the year. The next council meeting will take place on the 26th of February, commencing at 5 p.m. here in the council chambers. Questions taken on notice will be responded to administratively and included in the agenda for the February council meeting, or if that is not practicable, the March council meeting. Prior to this meeting, Elizabeth Cochrane submitted 2 questions. Elizabeth, would you like to come forward and ask your questions, please?
Good evening. My first motion is about the extensive noise at the airport at times of the week. Oh, sorry, did anybody hear me that? So my first motion is about a lot of noise at the airport. And my second one is a question about land for the retirement village on the McMahon estate. Oh, they can't.
Yeah, you need to
I
hold
feel like
your...
I'm swallowing it.
Yeah, you have to... yeah. So the first question is about noise. Yeah, you need to read the whole question if you can. Thanks.
Okay. What steps has the Shire taken and what success have they had on stopping the noise pollution caused by Broome International Airport management, such as the non-urgent flights departing before 6 a.m. and the helicopters doing noisy training flights over the residential area, especially at the weekends?
Okay. I'll pass that on to the Acting Director, Development and Community.
Thanks, Elizabeth, and I also share your frustrations talking into a microphone, so apologies. An item was presented to Council in September 2024 in relation to the airport development plan. A key outcome out of this was to progress the development of a memorandum of understanding, which includes establishing a framework to improve noise mitigation. The Shire recognises that aircraft noise is one of the primary impacts experienced by the community while the airport continues to operate at its current location. Broome International Airport have provided, and this is a mouthful, Australian Noise Exposure Forecast, or ANEF contours, which model noise levels to 2040. Discussions are ongoing regarding an independent review of the ANEF contours by Air Services Australia, who are the national regulatory body who reviews these plans, as well as development of a noise abatement plan as committed to in the airport development plan.
And your second question, thanks, Elizabeth.
Yes. Now that the McMahon Estate Precinct has been approved, will the Shire consider allocating part of the land for our retirement village?
Thank you. And I'll ask the Acting Director, Development Community to respond to that one.
So for McMahon Estate, so the local structure plan is a planning document that's prepared to guide the future subdivision of the land. A subdivision application hasn't been prepared for the site at this point, and there is currently no funding to prepare this and the other actions required to deliver development in the area. A business case is currently under development, which investigates avenues available to deliver the release of much needed land in this location. However, without committed funding, a development partner and resolution of tenure, because we currently don't own the land, the Shire cannot deliver new development in this area at this point in time.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Right, thank you.
Okay. Prior to the meeting, Kylie Brokenshaw submitted one question. Kylie?
My question is, can Council clarify the current cost of contract ranger services, including whether the cost exceeds $400,000 per ranger per annum, and outline any investigations or initiatives underway to employ and train local rangers.
Thanks for your question, Kylie. I'm in the wrong job.
So am I.
But I will pass that one on to the Acting Director, Development and Community.
Thank you. I'm also in the wrong job. Unfortunately, the Shire was in a position last year where it did have to engage contract ranger services due to an inability to attract qualified rangers to the Shire of Broome. Contract rangers were within the allocated salaries budget for the service area and were required to ensure minimum levels of service were delivered to our community. Due to the recruitment challenges, the Shire has advertised and successfully recruited assistant rangers and provided training and pathways to become qualified rangers. 2 rangers were supported through this program last year and become qualified rangers, and a further 3 assistant rangers were employed mid to late last year and are being supported with training to become a qualified ranger. It's probably the first time in a while we've actually had a full ranger team at the Shire, and currently 3 of them are still assistant rangers being trained to become qualified.
Thanks, Kylie.
Through the chair, I wouldn't mind having the opportunity just to add to that. I think it's worth just stating that, staff attraction is a challenge at the moment for us, but not just us, across the local government sector. I think we historically in the Kimberley have a high sort of turnover, and it's a transient nature of our community. But I think you'll find across the entire local government sector, I think it's hit about an average of 25% turnover in the last couple of years. And there are particular technical roles, and this one is one of those, local law enforcement, if you like, but environmental health officers, building surveyors, town planners, engineers, those type of professions are very difficult, and it's become very competitive between local governments, let's just say. And of course, the housing situation that we have here in Broome has heightened that challenge for us. So we are having to be agile and come up with alternative ways to address that, to attract people. Trainees are the way. The other one I wanted to mention was just in regards to trying to find a building surveyor. I've lost track now, probably 6 to 12 months, been trying to find a replacement for that role, which is a critical service that we provide to the community, and we've had to look outside the box, and I'm pleased to say that we actually have 2 internal staff that have put their hand up to do some studies and training, and at the end of that process, which I think is 18 months, is it? We'll have 2 qualified building surveyors at the Shire of Broome, and hopefully be in a position to even support our neighbouring local governments with that service.
Thanks, Kylie. Prior to the meeting, Diana Oliver submitted one question. Diana, would you like to come forward and ask your question, please?
I might ditch the microphone if nobody minds.
No, you need to, sorry, because it's being recorded.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and the councillor is online.
Okay, thank you. What policies and procedures does the Shire have in place to ensure your workers and contractors don't spread weeds from drain to drain, particularly those going into Minya Park?
Thank you. I'll pass that one on to the Director of Infrastructure. Thanks.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the question. The Shire is currently using our own dedicated teams and equipment to manage the weeds in the drainage network, and we're using some contractors for some other work. The equipment is cleaned on site using blowers prior to them moving on, with a washdown bay at the depot when required to wash them off. We're continuing to strengthen these practices, and we're committed to ensuring staff and contractors apply them consistently. When we developed I'll just read it rather than go ad lib. As a part of the first year of the Shire of Broome Weed Management Strategy and Action Plan, 26 to 29, standard weed hygiene protocols are being developed and integrated into staff training. This work's underway and on completion for 2026, the first year. So we've recognised that our practices haven't been the best or been applied consistently, and we're embedding that into the organisation as one of the high priorities to happen in the first year of the strategy. And we're on track for that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Just to clarify something, the figure that Kylie mentioned, the 400,000, is incorrect. It isn't that high at all. but we'll actually get back to you with the correct figure. But yeah, if it was 400,000, then no one would be working up here. All right, thank you for that. Okay, prior to the meeting, Oliver, Kaluri. Oh, those three. Sorry. Okay. Moving on. Prior to the meeting, Vinka Bridgman submitted 3 questions. Vinka, would you like to come forward? All right, thank you. Prior to the meeting, Elster Foley submitted 3 questions. Elster, would you like to come forward and ask your first question, please?
I forgot my glasses, so you have to put up with me. Regarding the land, the football oval, away from the PCYC, they're going to build another police facilities.
Elster, can you hold the mic closer, please? So, yeah, that's it. Thanks.
All right. Is that better?
That's good, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you want me to start again?
or do you want the CEO to read it out for you?
Yes, if you don't mind.
It's not a problem at all. Now, I better find the question. Regarding the land, football oval taken away from the PCYC to build another police facility, where was the planning done for this? In Perth or in Broome? Should it not be better utilised for the youth of this town? How was information regarding this development and changing of the land title circulated to the wider community in Broome?
I'll pass that on to the Acting Director, Development and Community. Thanks.
Thanks for the question, Elster. So the matter was presented to Council in December 2023, and Council resolved to object to the development of the facility at the site for a number of reasons, which included the development not being deemed compatible with the surrounding residential zoned lands. The scale and size of the development would be inconsistent with the character of the area, touching on a point that you've raised, that the siting of the development fragments the PCYC land holdings and could limit the ability for PCYC to implement programs into the future. And also that it didn't align with the Shire's own planning framework, being the old Broome development strategy. Council also resolved that if the facility was to proceed at the PCYC site, a comprehensive community engagement strategy be implemented for both site selection and design aspects. The Shire, after this decision, made numerous approaches to request an alternative site be considered for the facility. However, the state advised it would proceed with the development at this site. We tried really hard to get it somewhere else, but they refused. Engagement with the community was undertaken by the state on design aspects, but did not include site selection because they'd already made the decision that they were putting it there.
Thanks, Elster. Do you want... Oh,
So it was the state government decision.
yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Do you want Sam, the CEO, to read your second question?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Elster. Second question. Why did the council and Shire President give one of their fellow councillors 6 months leave to live outside their electorate, to live in another Shire for 6 months? Councillors elected by the community, by the voting people of the day, not the 9 councillors. Will council rescind their motion on giving leave to their fellow councillor and have another election in the best interest of the Broome community?
And I will pass that one on shortly, but council has not given any councillor 6 months leave of absence. But I'm sure 6 months to live in another town. So I'll pass that on to the CEO. Sorry.
Through the chair, I'll take that one, Mr. President. Thanks for the question, Elsa. I'm not used to seeing you on that side of chambers, so it's a bit unusual. Council, as the Shire President has mentioned, has not granted 6-month leave of absence to any sitting councillor. In accordance with the Shire of Broome Meeting Procedures Local Law 2020, a councillor seeking leave of absence is required to submit a formal application for Council's determination by resolution. This ensures transparency, maintains an accurate public record of attendance, and supports Council in managing quorum and statutory obligations. It is noted that it is normal practice for elected members to request and be granted leave of absence for periods of leave. The granting of leave of absence is a procedural process, and Council is not permitted to grant leave of absence to any more than 6 consecutive ordinary meetings without the approval of the Minister for Local Government. All current sitting members have met all Council meeting attendance obligations over the past 12 months. A list detailing councillor attendance over the previous 12 months is contained in the ordinary Council meeting agenda and minute documents, which is publicly available on the Shire's website.
So, and that answers your question, Elster?
Not really, but I'll live with that till I get something else going.
Okay, would you like to ask your third question, or I can get the CEO to ask that again for you? Okay.
Okay, question 3. How does the Shire come to its decisions regarding which organisations get help with their rental rate on Shire properties? Is there a policy on how they decide this? For example, is it considered whether or not organisations are making money serving the community? What criteria or categories guide the decisions? Does the Shire charge full rent on sporting and recreational clubs such as the golf club, surf club, or others that have a liquor licence? For example, the Broome Community Resource Centre is charged a full commercial rent on a Shire-owned property. They provide an invaluable community service, yet they pay the highest rent by far of any community resource centre in the state.
And I'll pass that on to the Director Infrastructure for a response.
Thanks, Chair. Hi, Elster, how are you going? The Shire has a number of property assets, and we classify them as either commercial or community properties. These classifications have been determined over time, either at the point of acquisition or in some cases at the time of lease renewal. In some instances, they might change from commercial to community or vice versa, depending on the council of the day, for example. For commercial properties, the intent is that the asset delivers a commercial return to the Shire. The return contributes to meeting our asset management obligations for the building and assists the council, the Shire, in offsetting the cost of delivering local government services to our community. For community properties, the intent is to provide community groups with access to the asset with the expectation that the occupying community group meets the costs associated with the operational maintenance and renewal of the asset. This approach allows those community groups to direct the balance of their funds to the community service they're offering. The Shire does not charge full commercial rent to tenants occupying the community properties, and this includes the Broome Golf Club and the Surf Club, so they don't pay rent. And they do have liquor licences and derive a revenue, and they put that revenue back into their activities is the intent. In 2022, the Broome Community Resource Centre applied to the Shire to occupy the current tenancy under the terms of a commercial lease, which included the payment of commercial rent. The Shire, myself, I'm not in a position to comment on the financial circumstances of the Broome Community Resource Centre or all the other community resource centres in WA, I can say, in addition to what we do with our rents and everything else, the Shire provides further support to community groups and events through our Community Development Fund. The Broome Community Resource Centre is among the organisations that have benefited from this funding, and the Shire continues to encourage them to apply for support where they have eligible projects or events in line with that grant funding. Thank you.
Okay, does that respond to your, gives you a response to your question, Elster?
No, not really. That does. So that means that community organisations that are catering for the community to live in Broome, they have to have a liquor licence so they can sell alcohol to people to lift up their rent money to pay the Shire.
I don't think so. Elster. I was never going to call you Councillor Foy. It's been a long time. Yeah. But no, that's not the case, Elster. And as the directors alluded to, the CRC put an expression of interest in for the property at the full commercial rate, and that's how that works there. But the other properties like the golf club and the surf club offer a very vast range of community services, plus they are also at the moment still paying off substantial funds on the new developments at both places. So, Okay. Thanks. Yep.
Yeah, okay. I won't ask you anymore because I think I'll confuse you. Thank you.
Thanks, Elster. Good to see you. Okay. All right. There being no other questions, I'll now declare public question time closed. And I will remind everyone that you can ask public questions at any council meeting throughout the year. So you don't have to wait till the annual electors meeting each year. The Shire staff are here for you. We'll take the questions as long as you have them in prior to the full council meetings, and you'll get a response to those questions. Thank you to everyone for coming along tonight, and having no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 4:46 p.m. Oh, 4:49, 3 minutes, okay. 4:49 p.m. Thank you, and travel home safely and enjoy the rain.